Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today, I have Fenyx Blue on my channel today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Miss Queenie. It is a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Now tell us a little about yourself.
Well, Miss Blue is from Chicago. I know you're from South Carolina, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Born and raised in Chicago. I am a daughter of some very hardworking blue collar parents, but I myself became a teacher. And I am an advocate against bullying. I am someone who's always been kind of that upstander trying to fight the fight for our kids. And so I wanted to make sure that I wrote stories that were for them, that would inspire and empower them. And so, what am I about? I'm about youth empowerment. And yeah, I'm just a little girl from the shop.
Okay. What does BLUE stand for?
Blue stands for being bold, being loving, being unapologetically yourself, who you were created to be, and always evolving. So I feel like I'm always evolving. So that's what the letters BLUE stand for. And I try to encourage kids to be the same.
All right, all right. What is your genre and what attracts you to that genre?
My genre is definitely young adult literature, but I also write poetry, mostly because I am just attracted to telling an authentic story. And I think like kids, they're that audience that will tell you the truth. I really like how honest they are. It's the same way with poetry. Your audience is either going to be snapping with you or in silence out of respect, like, we didn't like that so much. So I think I'm attracted to the fact that, you know, a very honest audience comes with young adult literature.
Okay. When did you start writing?
I started writing at the age of 6. And my first thing that was written, I'm really sad that my mom later got rid of it, but it was a poem for my mother. And it really was kind of like a thank you note that rhymed. And it made her cry. And so you get that first taste of an audience, and I was hooked. Like, I was like, ooh, words have that impact on people. And so I remember that. I was an early writer and reader. So yeah, I definitely remember that.
What is your inspiration?
My inspiration. Well, I am a woman of faith, but I'm inspired by change. I hope that, I guess that's just the activist in me. I want, you know, my reader and the youth and people that I touch to do something. You know what I mean? It's one thing to just read the story and be entertained and educated, but then to go out and be kind and be, you know, a better person and to protect and support others. So I'm inspired by change and activism. I want to make a difference in that way, but not just myself. I want the people who read my stories to make a difference.
What made you start the bullying movement?
What made me start the bullying movement was I saw a need at my school. And that was with both females and males. I know sometimes people think that the girls are very innocent, they're sugar and spice and everything nice. and yet I was seeing them bully boys. And I was like, whoa, we need to do something about it. And this was before there were laws against bullying and all of that. That movement hadn't really started. I created a club, and I wanted them to be able to talk and share their stories, because they would say things like, I don't have anyone I could talk to. I can't tell anyone about this. I don't trust anyone to tell them. So I wanted to have a place where they would actually do that. And so that club then started to become a movement in itself, because we started to go to other schools and speak. We would go on marches. We did like nonviolence marches. We would start to do all these different things so that the word could get out there. So once the law started to happen, we felt like we were part of that, you know, because we had done our piece as a team. And so it started because I just wanted to help them to feel empowered and to spread a message of love.
Okay. What is the most difficult part about writing for you?
I love writing so much. So what is the most difficult part of writing? I would say it's the editing process, because it just pours, like a story will pour from you and you just put it out. It's like putting your heart on paper. It's your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone gets your baby and they say it's an ugly baby and they want to take certain pieces out of it. And you're like, oh, okay, I understand. And you want it to be the best baby for the world, right? And so you have to kind of go through that. But I would say it is hard. You have to have really tough skin. And you also have to know, because sometimes I've had to say no through editing. Like, no, you have to really know, like, what is your goal too? Because sometimes people will take the voice out of things. You don't want them to remove your voice.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now tell us about your books.
Okay, well, I currently have 4 books. So I would like to start with the first one that kind of came out, and that was a children's book. It's called Worth the Wait. And it was born because I was a ministry leader, and it was the abstinence ministry. And it was for young girls and boys who had chosen to do that in the church community. But we didn't have a book. We didn't have a story. We didn't have anything like that. We just had, the word of God, which is powerful in itself. But I wanted to make sure to have a story that could accompany that. And so I wanted a story that was about building the value of young girls. And what other story is better than that, than a father's love for his daughter? And so that's what Worth the Wait is about. It's about the love of a dad to his daughter. Then the poetry book came out. And basically, I've always been that poet that, if you have a funeral, birthday, special event, they call you.
Yes.
And yet, I didn't have anything that people could take. They would say, I want to buy your book. Do you have that poem? Or can you email it to me? I'll pay you for it. And I'll be like, So I decided to put that into a book. And that became the Blue Ink Movement. So those poems are just a collection of little poems. And then the 2 young adult books that I have about bullying are Who Failed Johnny? And that's based on a young man who I met through my team who was considering suicide. So I wanted to tell a fictional story about that. And then The Battle of the Bullies. And that's based on some young girls who like a gang of bullies and the things that they do to kind of torment others at school.
Wow. Wow. What was your favorite part and least favorite part about the publishing journey?
My favorite part about the publishing journey was the cover reveal. I love a good cover reveal when they're like, you might as well have a drum roll and like, put out the blue carpet, as I would say, and just like celebrate, because, you give them an idea and then they make it a reality, right? So my students have said, I want to see my stuff on the cover, please make sure she has natural hair, like they had said certain things and they made it happen. So I was really, really happy about that. And then I think we kind of touched on what was my least favorite was the whole editing process. But I also liked the feedback. So it was, negative, but it also was positive because I think I grew from it, to learn to build better worlds and be more, use more imagery and all these different things.
Okay. What avenues do you use to market your books?
Pandemic, right? It taught me to be creative, right? I definitely go and speak, I speak to different schools. I try to make sure that, I'm on all social media, of course. I'm a part of many groups for writers. And so, they get the word out as well. We partner with that. And, I just try to live by example. And so sometimes that in itself kind of draws people to you because people know, like, Miss Blue is the bully lady. You know what I mean? And so they go together. And that helps me to get invited to events. And then I can use, the book is just a tool to reach people.
Can you share a snippet of one of your books?
Absolutely. Let me go to Who Failed Johnny. And I will read the first page, which is supposed to just be like an excerpt from his diary. He is a brown boy who likes to write. So, okay. So He says, ignored and or spat on, sat on, punches, crunches, kicks, sticks, jumped, bumped, cursed, worse, rated, hated, isolated, frustrated. Journal, I can't, won't, no way. Not for another 180 days. I'm dropping out. I'm quitting school because school is broken and I ain't got no tools. A diploma is a red cape and I ain't no bull. Plus, life is a test and I'm going to fail anyway. I'm disappearing bell to bell every day. Shrinking home to class, home to class. How could I ever manage to pass? Johnny Turner.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. What is your role in the writing community?
I serve right now as a coach to other authors. I actually have an author, he's writing a book on financial literacy right now. And I'm kind of walking him through the process.
Mhm.
And I think if my writers, I have a group on Facebook called the Blue Writers Block Club. I think if you ask them that question in the writing community, I'm the cheerleader. I'm the person that is going to, if you have a story inside, I'm going to be on the sidelines, like rooting for you until you can get it out. But I'm also a coach as well to make sure to help you share my wisdom and my experience so that you can be even more successful. I tell every writer that I work with, I want you to be even more successful than I am, because I feel like, you know, whatever your story is, it needs to get out there. So yeah, I think I'm coach and cheerleader in the writing community.
Okay. I'm looking at that wall plaque on the back behind you, Fenyx Blue.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. The blue part is about bold, loving, unapologetic, evolving. The Fenyx part is my mom was a teenage mother. Okay. My parents had me young, and yet they were married for 45 years until my dad died, right? But I had a very challenging upbringing, but yet I feel like I survived from that. And so the mythical Fenyx kind of rises from the ashes of, you know, death, destruction, divorce, pains, all these different things that happen in life, and still survives. And so I want to remind myself, you can do anything, right?
Yes.
Yes, you'll just get stronger and stronger. Yes.
All right. I like that. I like that. I like that. What has been your greatest accomplishment in your literary career so far?
The greatest accomplishment. I would say those students who tell me, hearing from students who tell me that the book impacted them in a positive way. And that is from bullies as well, who say, man, you know, they don't mean to be bullies, but you know, I have this saying, it doesn't cost to be kind. And they're like, I can be kind. You know, I don't know why I haven't been. I've been immature in the past, but I understand how it could affect people. And I don't want to be that way. So I think, to me, those testimonials is what really makes me feel good as a writer, you know. So that's what I'm most proud of.
Wow. Okay. What are you currently working on right now?
Currently, there is going to be a third book in the series. It is called Royalty. So far, that title could change, but I'm trying to finish that up while also helping other writers to finish their process. So I'm trying to get Royalty out, and I'm thinking of doing something nonfiction for teachers too, because I am an educator and instructional coach. And so I want to get something for teachers out as well. But Royalty is what I'm mostly working on right now.
Okay. How can readers find you and your books?
They can find me on all social media under Fenyx, but with that F, right? Fenyx Blue Ink, right? Fenyx Blue Ink on YouTube, on Twitter, Instagram. I'm there. If you seek me out, just type in that Fenyx Blue Ink. I'll make you think.
Is there anything else you would like to add before we close?
I would like to say thank you for having me on here. I respect your journey and your story. Someone should be interviewing you for your years that you've given to education and being a literacy ambassador like you say that you are. I thank you for that. We need more of that. We need people that support the journey, and so I appreciate that. That's all I really want to say, and thank you. And thank you to any reader that goes to get any of these books on this shelf.
Thank you. Okay, before we go, would you like to play a little game with me?
I love games. Let's do
All
it.
right. Okay. What is your favorite snack while writing?
Oh, my favorite snack is a Hershey with almonds. I love it. Love, love, love.
Your favorite pastime?
Favorite pastime, bicycling. Yeah, I love to be on a bike, wind flowing. Maybe I want to be like a phoenix for real, like I want to fly.
Favorite drink?
Lemon balm tea. It relaxes me. I'm calm, and creativity just flows when I have my tea.
Wow. Okay. Favorite color?
Huh.
Oh.
Blue, blue, blue. All shades of blue. Yes.
Okay. Your favorite meal?
Favorite meal, I'm gonna be honest, it's collard greens and cornbread, okay? Especially fried cornbread.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Last, favorite author and why?
My favorite author is no longer living, and it's Dr. Maya Angelou. And it was because I did get to meet her, first of all, but she was a woman that walked it like she talked it. And I love that she was about humanity and using her voice and her gifts to give back to the world. I think she's very known for her wisdom, and I love that. So I've always admired that, and I had the opportunity to share that. So that makes me happy.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today, Phoenix. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Miss Queenie.
All right. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.